Hey guys, what's up? MurderofBirds here. Sorry about this review being out a few days late. My weekend was very eventful and I actually put some of my reviews behind, so I apologize for that. Better late than never. But this episode, episode 3, Sword Art Online 2, I think Sinon at this point is my second, if not my primary favorite character of this series. In these past two episodes, she has gotten so much development, a lot more development than the primary characters of this series, including Kirito, Asuna, Lifa-chan, and Silica, Liz. She has gotten so much development. We learned about like how fierce she is in the game of GGO. We find out her life outside of the video game pertaining to her phobia, her haplophobia, which is her fear of guns, and the fact that she's harassed in school. And she is this very weak, very timid character outside of GGO, which is strange, which is ironic because in the previous episode you would have never thought that about her, before finding out about her backstory and like her outside life. So I definitely feel like, and it's crazy, like she is a soon-to-be main character of this arc of this second season. But it's crazy how she's already developed so much. She's developed so much more than the primary characters of part 1 of season 1 of Sword Art. Asuna especially, she was a primary character. She was a main plot device of the first season, and Sinon just completely blows her out of the water in terms of her character development, in terms of her character depth, and everything pertaining to the game and outside the game. We don't really know that much about about the other characters' personal lives. Like Asuna, I don't think we found out about like her life as a outside of the game, what she does for a living, like her parents or anything like that, or even any of the other characters. The only people that we really got complex or in-depth material is from Kirito and his cousin Sugu. So right off the bat, Sinon is already right up there. My second favorite character, right behind Kirito. Obviously, he's the main character. But Sinon's life, man, she definitely has had a very traumatic experience growing up. The start of the episode, she's shown off as her in her regular attire. She looks very similar to that of her avatar. Obviously, a little different, with the hair and the eyes. But she is a very weak, very timid kind of person, which is crazy from her GGO persona, with being picked on, being harassed by those girls, and pretty much they realize, and we find out this episode, that she has haplophobia, or morbid fear of guns, with her traumatic experience with her childhood. The incident at the bank, and her mother was in danger, people were in danger, and she took it upon herself. I don't really know if it was instinctual or if she hadn't any idea what she was doing, but she ended up killing that guy, taking 3 shots, one to the chest, one to the chest, one to the shoulder, and that final headshot to the head. 24 left for digital. That's a Call of Duty reference. But it's crazy like how that one little incident completely changed her entire perspective on how she goes through her day-to-day obstacles. And the fact that people outside of in her real life use that against her, like those girls were trying to get that money from her and they were using that against her. I don't know how in any other way that affects her. She does have, I don't know if it's a model gun or an actual gun in her house, but apparently she's trying to overcome her phobia, and GGO Gun Gale Online is one of the ways how she's dealing with that. Which ironically, when I first realized that she had a phobia of guns, it was ironic because it's like Gun Gale Online is focused and centered around guns, and she deals with it like it's nothing. It's as if she doesn't even have the phobia, which is why it was crazy to me when we found out this episode, because last episode she went in with that, with the sniper, battling all those guys with their energy guns and the guy with the minigun, and then this episode you see like how that's a hindrance for her, like guns are a hindrance, and she's pretty much using GGO as a way to cope and deal with this trauma. And she feels that the more she plays GGO, somehow her Sinon persona of GGO and her real life persona of Sinon are going to merge together, and she's going to take the determination, and she's going to take the confidence of her GGO experiences and apply that to real life, and hopefully that's going to end up making her a lot more stronger as a person, as a character, and hopefully she can overcome her phobia. So already, right off the bat, she's a very complex, very in-depth, and very intriguing character. Like I said, these 2 episodes have been very crucial to Sinon her development, introducing her to the series and how she's going to, how she's going to be utilized in GGO. When Kirito comes into play, and then the whole deal with Death Gun and all that stuff. So, when she plays GGO, when we see her in GGO, it's not the fact that she's just trying to overcome obstacles in the game. She's not just trying to overcome, leveling up, getting the best loot, being the best player, etc. She's using all of these skills and adaptations adaptations of the game to apply in her real life when it comes to, you know, overcoming her fears and her trials and tribulations. So I really like how she uses the game not just for her own needs of entertainment or escapism, but also in terms of, you know, rehabilitation and coping with her situation. So Sinon automatically right off the bat, second favorite character of the series. Moving on from there, Kirito. I have no idea what it is about him. I don't know why the animators do this, but they make him like a lady killer to everybody. That nurse that was in the room that was pretty much like gonna overlook his, you know, his health and overlook his body and everything like that when he jumps into Gun Gale Online. She was pretty much coming on to him, and I'm like, dude, this kid's like a teenager and you're like a fully grown adult. I don't know what it is. It's obviously the fan service. It's obviously, you know, the persona that Kirito has, that all these girls have to fall head over heels for him, and it's kind of crazy because I can understand the girls of the game, you know, Stugu, Lifa-chan, Liz, Silica, and, you know, I can understand them, but when it comes to this girl, I was like, really? That's kind of weird. But anyways, Kirito has finally decided to take part into the investigation of Death Gun, try to find if these deaths are relatable. He feels like there isn't, but there's a 99% chance that there isn't, but that 1% chance has led him to this particular situation of jumping into the game where he's actually going to find out that Death Gun is real. He's going to find out the situation's real, obviously, and he's going to end up moving on. Also, while he jumped in, it switched back to Sinon, and she's jumped in. So they are both in the game right now. So I don't know if next episode we're going to get them both. We're going to get interaction with them too, but eventually they're going to both interact. They're both going to cross paths, and I'm looking forward to that interaction, that development, because I don't know. I just feel like it's going to be very intriguing to see how Sinon reacts to Kirito versus, you know, and compare her situation of meeting him and compare her situation to, you know, their interaction versus the other girls of part one. That's pretty much what I'm taking from Sinon when she's going to meet Kirito. I really don't think that she's going to actually fall head over heels for him like the others. I think they're actually going to be more rivals than anything, especially if you watch the opening. But Kirito has jumped into GGO. Next episode is going to be GGO-centric. It's probably going to be Kirito introduced to the game, introduced to the new ways and, you know, mechanics and systems of the game, because he is starting from the bottom while everyone else is really more experienced than him. Also, last little bit of information. At the very end of the episode, we got hint of Death Gun. I think... I don't want to say that we have been spoiled, but there was something in this episode that led to, I believe, a spoiler to the identity of Death Gun. I'm not going to say what it is, so if you guys don't know, I'm not going to have you guys go find out for yourselves and spoil you. But basically, this episode, I think, hinted a big, huge critical point in who Death Gun actually is. But anyways, the end of the episode, it seems that Death Gun has Sinon in his sights as being, you know, one of the best players of the game, the best sniper in the game at least, and he's got his sights set on Sinon. So this actually was a very good episode. Development with Sinon, her whole backstory as a character, complexity, depthness, Kirito, and, you know, the whole building on GGO. We got pretty much was a setup for this episode for Kirito. Next episode seems like it's going to be going into GGO. We're going to get the actual world, the first place where you start off, stuff like that. And hopefully we get some more critical development with Sinon. Kirito is going to be in there, so I'm pretty sure it's going to switch back to Kirito's role, as you know, these last two episodes were very Sinon-centric. But anyways, thank you guys for watching this review. That's all I got from it. Let me know your thoughts about the episode, what you liked about it, what you're looking forward to, all that stuff in between. Also, be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'd greatly appreciate that as well. But that's all I've got, and I will catch you guys next week. Take care.